All right. Hello, everybody. This is Patrick Green, personal trainer, coach, teacher, and I'm with one of my really good friends. I've been training her for over 4 years. She has grown tremendously, physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, and I can't wait to hear you guys to hear her journey and her transformation she's had over the last 4 years. So I'm going to introduce my friend, Michelle Yvonne Sorgard. All right. So Michelle, how you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing good. Doing real good.
Doing good. Okay. How was our workout this morning on Facebook Live?
That was good. It was hard, but it was good. Trying to stay, up with you is always a challenge, but it's a good workout, so we're happy.
All right. So we're here to share with the world here your transformation. So we're going to start with some easy questions and work our way into some of the harder ones. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So just tell everyone like how old you are, what do you do for a living? Let's start with the basics.
How old I am. Okay, Patrick. I'm 55 and
5 years young.
huh?
55 years young.
Yeah, that does sound better. 55 years young, definitely. And what else did you ask me?
What do you do for a living?
I work in the payroll department and I work for a family run business. Been in business probably 25 years now. So long time.
Wow, long time. Long time. Cool. Go ahead and tell our audience here your background in fitness, like you growing up. What did you do for a living? What did you do for exercise? How was your health kind of growing up until kind of like before you met me?
Well, my dad always had us playing tennis. We started playing since we were like 7. So we did that pretty much all the way through grade school, a little bit into high school, and then I ventured into basketball and did that for a while and then kind of fell off. Started gaining weight, not doing anything anymore. But growing up, we were always really active, thanks to my dad.
Awesome. How did you feel like to the years kind of leading up to meeting me? Like what was kind of, you sound like you were super active, super healthy. What were you doing for kind of like fitness before like you met me? How was your health like maybe like a couple years before you met me?
Well, definitely overweight, always hurting, especially my knees. We would, try and exercise like with my girlfriends or my cousin off and on. We started jogging early in the morning, like 6:30 in the morning. And then she kept saying, we need to get into the gym. And I don't really like gyms. So I never went. And she said the only way that we're really going to lose the weight is if we start using weights. And so then they kept pressuring me, and finally I said, okay, I'm going to go join the gym. So that's when I joined In Shape. I lost the,
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm on mute. What made you think about you needing some extra help? You thinking that, maybe I should hire a trainer, maybe I should hire a professional or a coach. What was going through your mind at that time? What made you lead to that decision?
well, I was stuck. I would, do the exercises here and there. I wasn't really, all that motivated and didn't know what we were doing or I was doing. And so then we said, let's get into the gym. I finally, you know, made that leap and I went inside of the gym and I go, okay, this is not as bad as I thought. And then they signed me up with a trainer. So I started working out with that trainer. And then I was back and forth from here to Norway. And when I came back one time, the trainer was gone. So then that's what led me into you. So they said, no, we'll get you another trainer. And so then I was like, okay. And then that's how I met you.
All right. Well, what was your initial experience, working with me, first couple weeks, months? How'd that go?
It was really hard and I felt just, it was just difficult. I remember when you put that box and you said, okay, walk up on or get up on top of the box, and then you need to step off. And I remember I couldn't even step off because I couldn't even bend my one knee. So you had to put another little step so that I could get down off the box. I think it was only like 12 inches. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when I first met you, you had some knee issues, right? And you were really hesitant to do a lot of athletic movements. And, I made some small baby step challenges like, hey, let's work on some step ups. We're not going to do body jumps, we're going to do some step ups, and then we're going to slowly, build your confidence level. And I remember like it was like the first couple months was a really trust was, it took a while to develop your trust.
Yeah, well, definitely. Because I just felt so intimidated, and it was just, getting into the gym was just like.
Yeah, and I also remember too right away, like you, one-on-one sessions were cool, but you were all about the group. You always wanted to train with multiple people. Go ahead and talk about that. Remember I stuck you in a boot camp like right away with 2 ladies. What made you want to do more kind of group instead of just the one-on-one all the time?
Well, the group, it's just more, everybody's supporting each other, and there's a little bit of competition in there too, and it's just motivation. You're going there, you expect them to be there, you're going to hit it, you're going to do your best, and for me, when I'm with other people, it just helps me to do better.
Yeah, definitely. I'll admit, there's some days of the week I'll train by myself, but I have a training partner too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important, even though, I could work out by myself, but when I have somebody there, to push me and, even compete against maybe, I get better results. Or even if someone's at least suffering there with me, like I'm going through something really hard, that person over there is suffering, I don't feel as bad.
Right, exactly.
Okay. How would you describe to our audience kind of how your experience and some of your early successes? Like what were some of the training we were doing? What were some of your wins? What were some of your early successes and wins? Maybe your first kind of year and a half with me.
Well, it was just being able to exercise and feel like you're doing something, and just going through, the strength, picking up a kettlebell and going, yeah, I can swing this. It's not that hard, because I think it has a lot to do with your mind too. If you try it and you have somebody helping you and coaching you to do the right move so that you don't hurt yourself, it seems like for me it works a lot better. And then just with the group, that's it's perfect for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I can kind of brag about you a little bit right now. So Michelle, she's one of the strongest female athletes and clients I have. She is really, really good at squat cleans, great at deadlifts and swings. Those are some of your strengths. It's cool. I think. What would you say? Like, what do you think are some of your strengths? That you're kind of, you feel confident about that. It's taking you a while, but you're like, I'm good at those now.
I think the lifting, like you said, I really like doing that. That seems a little bit easier for me. And then the rowing, I used to hate that in the beginning, but I'm starting to like the rowing a lot.
Yeah, you are one
And
of the best rowers. Like, if anyone wants to see someone who could row with amazing technique, that's you.
oh, okay, thank you. And I'm starting to get into the burpees a little bit more, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow. I never
that was
hear that.
stand burpees, but starting to get better. So come a long way, I should
So
say.
you would say that you really like training functionally, doing kind of more athletic movements than kind of like the machines in like old school kind of weightlifting, right?
Yeah, I like that better, a lot better.
Um,
than the machines. Yeah, definitely.
Now let's kind of talk about kind of maybe some struggles. Like, what do you think? You know, you've had some wins and you've had some tough times, and kind of what were those struggles, and like, how did you and I both, you know, overcome those?
For me, the struggle is always the running part. It seems like I could do everything else, but when it comes to running or jogging, and I know it's because of the weight, that's my biggest thing. So, um, just eating right and sleeping, that's helping me to, get the weight off and be able to achieve that. That's my biggest thing right now is getting over that hurdle with the running and my knee.
Okay. Yeah, and I would probably also just agree. Remember, like, you know, you tend to go to Europe for a little while. For those who don't know, Michelle's husband, Tor, great client, great guy. You know, he lives in Norway right now, and you tend to go, you know, away for a couple weeks and come back. Um, how is it, you know, being away from me? You know, not seeing me a lot. Like, how is that? How is that a challenge? Or being away from your other friends that you work out with all the time?
Well, that's hard. That's really hard because you get into this groove and you go to the gym when you're supposed to. Your friends are there, you guys are working out for 2 or 3 months at a time. That's when I really struggle. So when, you talked about the online training, that was perfect for me. So that really helped to try and keep me on track. And then once I got toward doing that too, we did a lot better.
Yeah, so great plug there. Thank you. Yeah, so for during this tough time, which I was going to talk about at the end of our interview, is, you know, like, you know, online training besides training in person is a great option. For those you don't know that, you know, you were one of my, you know, first clients in Northern California to do online training. So a lot of Southern California clients, when I moved away, you know, I trained a lot of them when I moved up here. But now you're still back on online training, and we'll talk more about that later. And it's also, what do you think too? Also, just having the right support at home, to, you know, and how would you, you know, describe to our audience like what it means to have people who who understand your exercise, who understand your eating, who understand that you need to have recovery and have healthy relationships. How does that help? How would you describe when you have like those that support you and those that don't?
Well, the thing is that on this journey, you have to surround yourself with people that support you and people that think like you and have the same mindset because that's going to help you go further and keep on keeping on. Because I have some friends that are just like, oh, you're hanging out in the gym all the time, you're doing this, you're doing that, and it's just, you know this is what I want to do. I'm trying to get better, I'm trying to get stronger. So if you don't have a good support group, that's really, really hard. So it's important to surround yourself around people that think like you and that want to do the same things. It makes all the difference. And the coaches, of course. You have to have a good coach.
Um, so what do you think has been the most fun and exciting thing you've been doing this throughout this journey?
Actually, just working out and sticking with that. And I was just thinking now, one of my goals was to be able to do a push up, on my toes. That was one of my biggest goals. And now I can do that. So the next thing for me to do is to be able to do like, 10 or 12 without stopping. So that's my next goal.
Cool. Can't wait to do it with
Yeah.
you. So moving forward, we're in 2020 now, right? Actually, I want to scroll back. What do you think? I've not only seen you grow physically, but I've actually seen you grow mentally and spiritually too. So let's kind of talk about that. Like, what are some of the big lessons you've learned? You know, we've talked about food, we've talked about sleep, we've talked about recovery, and we've even talked about, you know, your faith a lot too. So kind of how have you grown in those areas?
Well, physically, I, I can I can do the exercise because I didn't even think I would be able to even do anything. But now I've got to the point where, you know what, let's just see how good you can do it now. So I've grown, that way. I have a lot more confidence because, me before, I would never even look at myself in the mirrors at the gym. It's just like, oh no, don't even go there. But now it's just like, well, you know what? You don't look that bad. Have some confidence. You can do this. So I've grown in that way quite a bit, a lot more confidence.
Do you remember when we first started? I started talking just about kind of, remember me just even reaching out to you and like inviting you to church. Like, how was that experience? Because this is not only just a physical journey. This is also, a faith journey as well, right?
Oh, definitely. I remember you said, hey, what are you doing next Sunday? And I was like, nothing. And then you go, why don't you come to church? I was just like, okay. I went, and that's been the best thing because it's like you have to bring everything into play. It's not just one part of your life and try and concentrate on that and forget everything else. To me, it's like three different things. It's the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. And I've grown tremendously with that because Laurel Ridge Church, that's the best thing that ever happened to me. So
Right. Just got to dig right in, right?
yeah.
2020 now. 2020 has been a rough year for a lot of people, but not for you. You're the exact opposite. A lot of people are struggling, hurting, and you are crushing it. Why has 2020 been so amazing for you?
Well, now I finally got the food part of it under wraps. That was a big thing because we would be exercising every day. Um, the sleep, I was starting on that. And then the food, I would come home and I would eat everything because I figured I exercise. So now I can eat whatever I want to. So now for 2020 for me is getting the food part under control, which has really been good for me.
So for those that don't know, Michelle does Optavia, which my wife Hannah and I coach several clients through, and all of them are killing it in 2020 right now. Do you mind sharing kind of the amount of weight you've lost since the last week of January, and kind of like your body fat, and how you have a more healthier mindset about nutrition now?
Yeah, well, I started out at 209, and I weighed in this. So the weight is really coming off. And then I think the last time I did, I think it was last month or the month before, I lost like 4%. So that's just been like phenomenal for me. The food is just really, Octavia is fantastic. I pack up my little bag with my fuelings for the day and I can do it in like minutes. And then I'm off to work and I have my food and I can eat whatever I want, that's within that Optavia. So I'm good with that. It's perfect for me.
And just for those that maybe curious about this, it's not only just a food plan, right? It's education, it's
Oh, yeah.
encouraging, and pretty soon you're going to hit your goal, and we're going to hit you onto a maintenance phase. It's not just stopping, right? But
Right.
we'll give you the tools to maintain this for the rest of your life. Awesome. So you have been crushing it. For those that are listening in, she's lost over 25 pounds so far since the end of January. So we're looking at 2.5 months, 25 pounds, killing it. So what goals do you have going forward for 2020? We are not able to train in person right now. You're still training online. So for those that don't know, Michelle is training online with me through Trainerize. She's getting personalized workouts written for her. How is it doing online training? And where would you be without it if we weren't able to be together? What would you be doing? Or how has this been beneficial and helpful to you?
If I didn't have Trainerize, I'd probably be sitting right there on the couch watching TV, but not training, to be honest. So you know, the calendar, you've got everything planned out. All I have to do is click on it, do my exercises, log in, say how it is. I mean, that's just golden because honestly, if I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't be doing anything right now.
Right. And how's the online community we've built, you know, like, so at least twice a week right now, we're working out together. I'm doing the same exact workouts as you are, face to face. How's it doing the Facebook Live workouts together?
Oh, I love that. I think it's great. And I like it, especially when you can see everybody log in and say, yeah, like, you know, Chris is watching, Janice is watching. I think that's, you know, we can't go into the gym, but at least we have that. And, you know, you're there, you're doing it for us. It's perfect. Really appreciate that. It helps us to stay on track too.
Now, would you ever want to do like Zoom call like this eventually, like where I'm seeing exactly what you're doing, or you just want to stick with the Facebook Live for now?
No, I would do that
Okay.
because then you'd really be, everybody really be working out for sure. It wouldn't be like, oh, okay, he just did 10, maybe I'll just do 5. No, everybody would
All
really be
right.
working out.
So let's plan on doing that soon. Maybe we can get our own private Zoom, and
Yeah.
you know, let's. That's probably the next step for my business plan. All right, last thing. You've had so much great advice, recommendations, inspiration. I'm hoping a lot of people are just gonna really start changing their lives after they hear this. But what other advice or recommendations you have is our last question before leaving, and that you really want to, you know, help those out there maybe too scared to try change their life. They maybe want to change their eating. They want to change their exercise. What is your ultimate advice you would give?
To try it. And if you do try it, it's going to be hard. But if you have some support, get some good friends around you that, you know, want to do the same thing. Um, I think if you did that and you just watch one day you try it, the next day you try it, before you know it, you're up to a week, you're up to a month. If you just stick with it, because it's going to be hard in the beginning, but if you stick with it, you can make it.
And what do you mean by try it? Let's kind of key in. What do you mean by try it?
Try and exercise, try something, get out there, do something that you haven't done before. You know, just because it's hard doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. Just like I thought, okay, you know, running, rowing, lifting weights. I was really scared of the weights. I was just like, oh, that's not me. And I tried it and I was just like, no, that can be me. That can help me.
Oh,
That can make me stronger and make me feel good.
so you're saying set goals that are a little, maybe like a little bit out of your reach, so you can kind of chase that carrot a little bit. You know, do things that, you know, scare you.
Exactly.
Okay, definitely.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Well, that was amazing, Michelle. I wanted to thank you so much for jumping in, inspiring lots of people who are going to be hearing this. And I know they're going to be, you know, thanking you for being courageous. Michelle was, you know, very, again, another thing, you didn't want to be on this call. You didn't want to do this interview, and you did it.
Yes, I did. Just for you. Yes.
All right. So I'm hoping like one day you could be a coach with me and you could start coaching people too. That would be really cool. Thanks, Michelle. You have a great day. Having a fantastic Easter. And
Thank you. You too, Patrick.
I'll be checking in on you on Tuesday on our Tuesday weekly call. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay, take care. Thanks.